After a fortnight's international break, Wednesday looking to get back on track against QPR at Hillsborough. As after them three morale-sapping defeats, Sunderland, Leeds and Millwall, were one or two people, international breaks come at right time. I don't really subscribe to that myself. I'm one of them that if you've had a bad result, best thing for you is get back on bike and get back out there, However, we have had the break and Danny has had a chance to look at one or two things, and I think they are things that did need looking at. I've been talking a lot to my mates through break, and I'm sure you all have. And there were a few alarm bells ringing against Millwall, I think especially. The other two teams, decent sides, are going to be up top end challenging for promotion. But against Millwall, QPR, these are sort of teams that we've got to be looking to getting results against. And the Millwall game especially, I thought it was worrying because of the way we were really loose with the ball, over-hitting passes, under-hitting passes. It's a yard behind man, so one or two things there that were concerning me. Players looked a bit battle fatigued, if I'm honest. And the one or two things that we were all hoping that Danny would have a look at, with getting overrun in midfield, with that midfield pairing in there. Can you play two out-and-out wingers in Gassama and Masaba? Is it going to be one or the other? And the other thing is, there's been a lot of talk, should we go back to three at the back, so extra man in midfield, the two wingers, a lot of things to think about. And clearly Danny's been thinking the same as a lot of us. Let's have a quick look at the teams. Changes for Wednesdays, they turn to a 3-4-3 formation, Beadle in goal. Back three of Palmer, Heckway and Famayo. Valerie at right wing back, Johnson coming in at left wing back, Charles and Bannon continue in midfield, and changes up front, no place for J-Lo. Windass on the right, Kabaski comes in for his first start on the left, and Ugbo at centre forward. Queen's Park Rangers, Nardi in goal, back four, Santos, Dunn, Cook and Powell. Midfield, Dembele on the right hand side, obviously linked with Wednesday in the summer. Field, Colback and Madsen, Anderson in the floating role, and Frey at centre forward. So changes there for Wednesday, understandable changes I think. Marvin Johnson's coming out left hand side at left wing back. Max Lowe did okay against Plymouth in first game, but not really looked totally on it after that, if we're honest. On Wednesday, have not really been creating anything. We've conceded 9 goals. We've not scored any goals in those previous 3 games. And we've not really been getting anything down the left-hand side. He's answered the question about the two wingers, Masama and Gasaba. Can you play them both together? Well, as it is today, not started either of them. I thought Wednesday looked more balanced for it, to be honest with you. The other big talking point there's been is do we need an extra body in midfield, Bannon and Charles or Ingleson, whichever the two is in that pair. Do they need an extra pair of hands in there, And when we're playing this 4-2-3-1, there was all this talk, the number 10 can come back in and drop in and help out. But from that position, they're always running back, aren't they? I think the idea of having an anchor man in front at back four is it's all in front of them. But he's resisted that temptation, gone with his 3-4-3. But I do think it has helped midfield, the central midfield in a way, and that because you've got that extra man behind Bannon and Charles, in this case, a Heckway. So it does close that gap, and it does give you something directly in there behind them. Overall, yeah, happy with shape, and happy with how we played, actually. Apart from result. Positive start from Wednesday, and like I said, I was talking about the Millwall game. It was the passing as much as anything else which concerned me. Looked really jittery on ball and didn't move it about, but today, from the first minute, there was like a renewed confidence. I think part of that is playing at Hillsborough. I think we'll look a far better side at home. Moving the ball well, it's a more positive atmosphere, and the first 5 minutes I think they showed the intent. The movement off the ball was a lot better. Not that QPR weren't in the game, you know, that Paul, he had a 25-yard pile driver after about 5 or 6 minutes, just a bit of a warning shot for us. But overall, it was a really decent opening. Kibaski, obviously, he's coming on the left-hand side for Masaba. I like him. He had a really impressive game against Grimsby in League Cup, especially in that second half of that game. And he's not as quick as the other two, but he's got more control to him. And he seems to have... He's a player that plays with his head up, and I like that. He's got the ability to beat a man, but he has got his head up and he's looking for the pass. Maybe about 15 minutes in, lovely bit of play. He beat 2 or 3 men down left-hand side, won a corner, and probably a minute after that, Bannon found him with a lovely little ball. He turned inside his man and cracked a shot across goal. Decent save from there, lad. And it's one of them, keeper palms it down, and it's one of them, should there be somebody in there sniffing, it was a sort of thing that I thought, if that, you know, a Liverpool side 30 years ago, a winger cuts in and it's that shot, and keeper palms it out, you know, Ian Rush, that'd be 1-0, do you know what I mean? That awareness, that sniffing in box. But he was good, Kubaski, and I thought he linked really well with Marvin Johnson. I thought that was a real positive out of game today. And Johnson's had a good game. Just brings you that natural balance. And although, you know, defensively he's not a defender, if you're attacking, he's not having to do as much defending, is he? We did a lot of attacking in that first half, and he brings you that natural balance. He's got a really good left foot. And he links really well with Barry Bannon. I mean, we've seen that over the last 3 or 4 years. Got that little, you know, them little 1-2s and triangles and balls round corner. They link really well. And like I said, Kabaski just in front in that wide left berth. That little sort of triumvirate in there, I thought there was some really nice play between them. Real good spell from Wednesday. Bannon nicks ball, knocks it into Windass, and Windass does really well. He drives straight out of their defence. It was a defender's nightmare. They're backing off. And what he does do, because he's looking, you know, like raging bull charging down the middle of the pitch, their defenders think, well, he's going to try and get a shot away here. So fullbacks start tucking in a sort of preparation for that in case he's going to have a little touch left or right and get his shot away. And when he draws him in, that's when he's really good. It's great play, gets his little ball out wide, Valerian overlap. Super first time ball into the box. Ugbo gets there and he lifts it over. I've heard one or two people say it's a bad miss. He probably should get it on target, but I think you've got to credit their goalkeeper. I think he does really well actually. He comes out and narrows that angle brilliantly. And that's the thing about good goalkeeping. It's not always about making the saves, is it? It's about positioning and everything else. And I think you've got to credit keeper there as much as anything else. I thought we were on top. There was still that little gap in middle at Park at times, but as I said, because we'd got Heckway in behind, he was stepping into things. I thought he's had a decent game today, and it's just that little bit of insurance, and I think that's what we've all been wanting to see. You know, it's easy, especially in modern way, and the way that teams set up for you to get, you know, outnumbered in there, and I thought that worked. Having him as the centre half behind Bannon and Charles, I thought that worked really well. Another good opportunity for Wednesday actually. Bannon nicked ball again, but we're breaking. I think it was a 4-on-3 in our favour and field there, lad. It's just a rugby tackle. You know, he just grabs Bannon round waist and it takes a booking for it, takes one for the team, and of course it works. You know, because then they can get 10 behind ball ready for a free kick. Frustrating, but they're dark arts at game, aren't they? It's coming up to half time and I'm just thinking, I wish Wednesday could get one before break. You know, I thought we'd played really well. I thought we were easily a better team, to be honest with you. Like I said, that Paul's had a 25-yarder, and I think Frey sneaked into the box a one bit and won a corner, but other than that I didn't really think they threatened us that much. They got that Dembele down the right hand side, who's been playing well. I thought we'd help with him in first half. I didn't really think he caused us any problems, but the combination of Marvin Johnson and Firmino coming at left side centre half, thought they did really well to deal with him. And speaking of Marv, just 5-10 minutes before the breaks down left hand side, and a ball bobbles out to him and it's a fantastic cross. It's like an half volley cross outside at boot. Finds Windass up back stick, does really well, chests it down. Just gets a little bit underneath. I think he'd got a little bit more time than he thought he'd got. I think he hit it on drop rather than on floor touch, if you know what I mean. I think if he hits it half volley on floor touch, I think it's probably in back at net. And I think that was the thing about the first half. We'd created one or two opportunities. Bannon had one of at bar that actually it would have right. It was a serving spoon of a foot, that one. I don't really know how he did it or what he was trying, really, but that was the one theme of the first half that did make me wonder if it was going to be our day. As well as we'd played, you've always got that nagging feeling as a Wednesday fan, and that was one of the key reasons, is a lot of scooping, a lot of over-hitting it. People are desperate. I mean, we hadn't scored a goal for 3 games. We hadn't scored a goal for the previous 3 games, so you're desperate for a goal. And when you're desperate for a goal, folks are trying to ladder it. Folks are that desperate to get a really hard connection on it and sort of smash it past goalkeeper. You know, they're trying to take skin off it. We're getting underneath it. And sometimes the most important, well, sometimes, all the time, the most important thing is get it on target. Get it on target. And like I said, we can call it poor finishing or whatever we want, but really, I don't think you can fault the lads in the sense that it was desperation to get a goal. And I think they were just over-hitting stuff because of that fact. Desperate to get on the score sheet. Second half, come out all guns blazing again. And I did think we might nick one. I thought if we were going to nick one, it might be in this first 5-10 minutes of the game because we really went at it. Kabaski again, some really good link play with Windass. Gets his foot underneath one. There was another link play down the right hand side. Bannon got Valeri away. Cross into box. Really good block by their lad. Ugbo were closing in. And actually, I've got to give a lot of credit to the 2 centre halves from QPR today, because I don't think QPR were a great side. I don't think they played that well, to be honest, but I thought the 2 centre halves really stuck to the task in there. Really good block. But Wednesday were turning it screw, and I thought this is the moment when we can get that lead. As it was, we started fading from that point onward, really. 51 minutes, Dembele sort of gets in, he squares the ball off to Smith, he puts it just over at bar, it's a bit of an half chance on Wednesday. I don't know, it's got to be mentality. A really strong start to the second half, and then we're just starting to look a little bit open again, as we did against Millwall. Them little sort of gaps starting to appear in there, and 1 or 2 warning shots across the bows, you know. It's like a little sloppy spell. We start giving the ball away, and I don't think they're not particularly horrific passes. I think the passes where we're trying to force issue a little bit too much. You know, we're having a lot of ball, we're pushing on, and it's sometimes I think you can just have another touch and go, you know what, we're trying to get it down here. The angles are a bit tight. Let's just keep hold of it. Maybe we'll go out other way. And I think sometimes we're a little bit and trying to sort of sledgehammer through it when it's not best option. And suddenly passing starts getting a little bit sloppy, game starts to get a little bit more open. And Danny, to be fair to him, he's made some positive substitutions. On paper, positive substitutions. I'm not actually sure it looked any better for him. I could see the idea, and it made sense. And at the time he made the substitutions, I was like, yep, fair enough. You know, freshen things up a little bit because we were looking a bit jaded, a little bit sloppy. Last 10 minutes, it's end-to-end stuff. You know, Wednesday going down at it at one end. You know, Smithy gets caught offside at one bit, then it's straight down at the other end. Actually, their lad coming off left-hand side, I think he was substitute, I'm not sure what his name were, like a oriental-looking lad. Anyway, cut inside, really, really good bit of play, curled one round far post. Didn't look that wide from that angle, maybe 6 inches wide. And it was getting really open, and then I'm just thinking to him, right, just tighten it up, lads, at this stage, just tighten it up. I know you want to win, but let's not concede, you know. Varane had a chance for them. It's about 85 minutes. As I said, it's really open. You know, I thought Wednesday dominated for 60 minutes of this game. We aren't really making it count. But so many crosses into the box, some good, some some bad, some in between. But the last 5-10 minutes really, really open, and then we get the breakthrough. Valentin had come on, gets that right side, pings a crossing. It's an awkward angle, but I've got to say Smithy does brilliantly. He gets up, he's under pressure at centre half, he's all over him like a cheap suit. So he does brilliantly to chest it down to Bannon. And it's a great chest, it's right into his path, but he's still got a lot of work to do because he's like me and he's a midget, so he's really got to get his leg up there to get it round that ball, and it's a fantastic hit. The most fantastic thing is, and it's what I've talked about from first half and beginning at second half, is he kept it down. But so many shots today of at bar, 10 foot wide at post, 10 foot of at bar, 15 foot of at bar, one nearly, one of at cop, But he's managed to get enough for his foot above ball and keep it on. It's an absolutely fantastic goal, And I'll be honest with you, it's a goal that deserves to win a game. And at that stage of proceedings, it should have been enough to win a game. But me, you, every Wednesday fan there is around the world, we don't take out for granted, do we? Because even at that stage, even before QPR's got ball on centre spot, I'm already muttering under my breath, no deft. Do you know what I mean? There's, 30 seconds left on clock, 40 seconds left. No deft. And then we give away a daft free kick. Now I've seen there's been a bit of a pile-on of Max Lowe. I don't really agree with pile-ons. Is it a shit free kick to give away? It is. It's completely daft. He shoved Laddin back, and that's the giveaway, innit? He shoved him in back. He's not going anywhere. He's facing his own goal. So it's a daft free kick. And as I said, don't do it daft. There's not long left. Don't do it daft. And one of the main daft things you can do with seconds remaining on clock is give a team with some big units in it an opportunity to put a free ball into your box. It don't get any dafter than that. So I don't agree with pile-on, but it's a really poor free kick to give away, especially at that time. Just stand him. Now, there's an argument in there, of course, and you'll hear this argument, but we can't blame him totally because, it's the second phase of play when they score. But the second phase doesn't occur if the first phase doesn't occur, which is that daft opportunity of giving him a free ball in box. That gets shuffled out round post. They've got a corner. Keeper comes up. And from then on in, it's absolute bedlam in there, in 6-yard box, in it. Bernard and Beadle seem to sort of get in each other's way. He bobbles down into the box. His body's in there. It's hard to see what's happening. And here's where you sometimes need a little bit of luck, because there's an absolute clear foul on Palmer. Their number 5 comes in and absolutely just wipes him out from behind, right through ankles, just smashes him. And almost at exactly the same time that's happening, and he's smashed at the floor, their number 3's holding Beadle down. Now, you don't want to be paranoid, but I will guarantee you this. If that is Sheffield Wednesday attacking QPR box in last minute of a game, and their centre-half gets wiped out, or Smithy holds their goalkeeper down, that's a free kick and it's end of match. Now, try not to be paranoid about it, but, Wednesday do not have a lot of luck with decisions in 18-yard boxes, do they? I mean, bleeding on fire. King Athelstan were on throne last time we got a bleeding penalty, weren't he? So it's bubbling about. There's a foul on Palmer. There's a foul on our keeper. It's in there, and then it just gets smashed off that line. Their lad goes ballistic, as you would do. Let's be honest about it. With 22 seconds over the 4 minutes, and it feels like a defeat. It feels like a defeat, and this is going to sound the most stupid thing in the world, but genuinely, it's how I feel. I would rather the game had finished 0-0. I know in long run it doesn't matter because the goals have cancelled each other out, so goal difference is same. I know we've still got a point, but I genuinely would have preferred a 0-0 because to score that late after more or less controlling 65 minutes at game and to then concede and to concede in that manner, a daft free kick, then a corner into the box, a crowd scene, people falling all over, legs swinging, balls getting missed, and then 2 fouls in there. So honestly, it feels like a defeat, And I saw their lads at end, they would have it away and imploding their fans as you would do, and their players looked like they were celebrating a win, and that's because of the momentum of games, isn't it? It's a draw. 2 minutes, on 90 minutes, both teams are getting a draw, and they'd have probably just shook hands. And 2 minutes after that, it's still a draw, but one team looks like they've just lost FA Cup final, and other team looks like they've just won FA Cup final. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it gets up there. And I'm saying, I feel same as probably players feel. That feels like a defeat, even though it isn't. Like I said, it's the same result as it would have been if ref had blown whistle 2 minutes earlier, but it's psychology, innit? Psychology of the human brain. It feels like a defeat to us, and it felt like a win to them for the sake of a minute, 2 minutes. Frustrating, a really frustrating evening. It's good that we've got a point, as I said, and a goal, because 3 games we had a goal previously, conceded 9. So good that we got a goal. I wish we'd held on for a clean bloody sheet, because I like a clean sheet. And it's a point on board, a vital point on board. And as I've said before, Sunderland, Leeds, whatever, them teams up that end of the table, Burnley, they're going to be tough teams to beat. But Millwall, QPR, Plymouth, them sort of teams, they're teams we've got to get points against and make sure we don't drop too many points against. That's the important thing. So, not worst thing it will. It's odd, isn't it? If you'd said to me before kick-off, would you have taken a draw? On one of my more realistic days, I'd have probably said yeah. But as the way the game panned out, I genuinely, if you'd asked me after first 10 minutes of the game, I said definitely not. But I'm for a win here. Frustrating. Very frustrating, but a much better performance, and that's what I'm going to cling to, I think. Because against Millwall, that was the most disappointing thing. Not just losing the game, but it was the manner of the defeat, if you know what I mean. There didn't seem to be any desire, didn't seem to be any energy. We were terrible on the ball, we were terrible off the ball. And today I thought we went a long way towards addressing a lot of those issues. I thought we looked a lot better. I thought Danny's team selection had got a much better balance. Kabaski's coming on the left-hand side and looked really sharp. I thought Valerdi looked probably more suited to a wing-back role like that. I thought there was some really good link play with him and Palmer, especially in that first half. In front at South, I thought they looked really good there. And I thought there were positive signs. I thought we looked more solid with that 3 at back, obviously excluding set pieces, but in open play, I thought we looked better for 3 at back. It's just goals, isn't it? We've got to start finding goals, because I thought we'd dominate that game, especially at first half. So many balls into the box, a lot of them really good balls into the box. You've got to start converting, haven't you? An early goal, then that's what we need. I think we need a game where we get an early goal and everybody can just let's just relax a bit. Because when you play football, you play better when you're relaxed. I'm not on about strolling about in carpet slippers, but I mean just not feeling that pressure. That sort of relaxed. And when you're relaxed, that's when you make a nice clean connection on ball. That's when you play with your head up and you can wrap your foot around things a little bit better. But when you're tense, when you're desperate for that goal and clock's ticking and ticking and ticking, that's when you start leathering stuff. That's why Bannon's finish was so good. Take the positives. Take the positives. Oh, nearly forgot man of the match. Thought Bannon played well. Obviously, Bannon, I think, will win awards because of that goal. But I thought there were a few lively displays. Kabaski, I thought, were good. I thought he looked like he gives us something a little bit different. Like I said, a winger who can beat a man and play with head up. And both feet as well. That impressed me with him. I didn't realise he were, it's not dexterous, is it? Dexterous is your hand. Can you be dexterous with your feet? Well, he can use both feet. Bannon, Kabaski. I thought Heckway actually did well today. I know he's what I call a meat and drink centre half, but I thought for the most part he used ball really well today as well. He gives us that little bit of security behind midfield too. Thought he did well. But I think my man of the match would be Marvin Johnson. He probably won't win the official one. I think Baz's goal will nick that, but it just gives us that better balance. Uses ball really well. His delivery into the box. We've talked about this for the last 3 years. What you get with Marvin Johnson when he's in a wide area, you get variety in your crosses. It's not always the same cross. You can drill him, you can curl him, you can clip him. I think best example of that is Liam Palmer's playoff semi-final goal. Little lob and a brilliant clip up to Flint at backstick. Just picks him out, puts it into an area, but he knows. He invites Flint to edit where he wants him to edit because of where he puts it. It's a fantastic cross-route ball. And like I said, hopefully little signs of seeds of germination with a little partnership up that side with Johnson and Kabaski. And as I said, I'm old-fashioned. I like to see little partnerships develop, and I thought there were signs there. So yeah, my man at match would be Marvin Johnson.